Hi. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the faculty evaluation system and how it's changed and why. Give you a little broad background of how we got to where we are. It all began with the legislature and the governor both being interested in ending the concept of tenure. In fact, they did that for K-12 teachers during the 11-12 legislative session. So during the 12-13 session, they were going to take up the community college tenure process. In order to kind of preempt that and try to work with the legislature and the governor's office, the Council of Presidents, the presidents from all of the 28 colleges, and the chancellor of the Florida college system began work on rewriting administrative code so that we could put in place a system that would allow for review of tenure faculty on a regular basis, but not end the process altogether. As that process was developing, I worked directly with the Faculty Senate Steering Committee, and they in fact formed what they called the Assessment Committee, the Faculty Assessment Committee, which consisted of the members of the Steering Committee. Those members asked to work with me directly on revising and refining our system so that it would meet the new law. They were working with me throughout the entire time that the new law was being written, and they worked on the new assessment system with me. And that's the system that we have in place now. I would urge you to read the new law. It is an administrative code, and you can get the exact code from others as you go through this process. The law has new specifics in it that were not there before, which makes it possible that we could get audits of the system as we go through it. Not of individual faculty evaluations, but perhaps of our process or redacted examples of the evaluation system to assure that we are doing what the law requires. In short, there are several changes that were made to the law. The first one is how long it takes to get continuing contract in a community college or a Florida college system institution. That has moved from a minimum of 3 years to a minimum of 5 years. The second thing that happened is that the law now specifies at least 5 areas with allowances for more that must be reviewed within that process. The first of those areas is quantifiable measured effectiveness in the performance of faculty duties. So the Faculty Senate and I spent quite a bit of time talking about what was measurable and what could be assessed. The annual review process and the portfolio process that occurs for post-award review are the results of that discussion. The second requirement is continued professional development of all faculty. Third requirement in law is being sure that the currency and scope of subject matter of the faculty teaching is appropriate. The fourth is relevant feedback from students, faculty, and employers. The fifth is service to the department, college, and community. And then we're allowed to add other things if we prefer, and actually our board of trustees were the ones who were allowed to add those things. Fortunately, when we put together a plan and we presented it to the Board of Trustees from the Faculty Senate, the board accepted our plan with great enthusiasm. The new law also said that we may create positions that were not eligible for continuing contract. In other words, that colleges could start doing contracts that would never be eligible for continuing contract. Here at TCC, we agreed that we would not have blanket positions like that. We decided that rather, on occasion, we might need a 1-year position as a replacement for someone who left unexpectedly, or perhaps a couple of years while a new program was developing, but we would not hire people on a regular basis without eligibility for continuing contract. They also require in the new law something called post-award performance review. And this is what we are now doing every 5 years with a portfolio. And you'll learn a lot more about that later. Then finally, The law requires us to develop and use criteria to measure student success. Suggested criteria include measuring learning gains, and although we will measure learning outcomes and look at the outcomes on a regular basis at the division and department and course level, we are not measuring those at the faculty level. And we couldn't find a way to measure learning gains without a lot of testing pre and post for our students, which we did not think was viable academically. Also, course completion rates, goal graduation rates, transfer success, and success in getting and maintaining jobs in the area in which a degree was obtained. Early on, we decided that we wanted this post-award review process to contain no surprises. We did not want faculty who were working well and doing well suddenly get to the 5-year post-award process and learn that they were no longer going to be employed because they did not meet the criteria. So our plan is based on an annual performance review that becomes the basis for the 5-year performance review. In short, if you do fine on your annual reviews, you'll do fine on your post-award review, and there will be no surprises. The second thing that we decided was that faculty really liked the portfolio process that they had learned about as new faculty in the faculty seminars, and they wanted to use a portfolio for that post-award review. So you will see that in the process. And then finally, they decided they wanted a new tool for student assessment, student review of courses, because the current one did not really look at learning outcomes or what the objectives of the faculty member are in teaching the course. So with all of those things together, the faculty and I worked very carefully to develop this new system. I hope that you find that what their goal was to really be able to show the strengths and the absolute fantastic faculty that we have here, so that this system is not one of punishment, it is not one of negativity, but it's one where we really get to show the strength of what we do in a community college. Thank you.